Crap. Didn't realize that it wasn't clean. There we go. All good. Now it's up to YouTube to tell everybody. I've had a pretty good week. How's y'all week? How's y'all's week been? Oh yeah, I'm having a pretty good week actually. I'm going to get to go to this this game on Saturday between Virginia Tech and West Virginia. So I'm pretty excited about that. And some of my subscribers that are subbed to the channel are actually going to be there. So I'll be able to meet some of my subscribers at the game. So that's pretty exciting as well. There's this other thing though. I have 2 extra tickets. Okay. Now the 2 extra tickets that I have are on the other side of the stadium. But I'd still like to be able to somehow perhaps give them away and maybe do a meet and greet if y'all can make it to the game. So if there's anybody around Morgantown, you want tickets to the game, but you can't get to the game, holler at me. I'll hook you up and we can hang out, we can tailgate, do a little meet and greet. And even though you'll be on the other side of the stadium whenever the game starts, you know, we can still talk, hang out, and have a good time. So just trying to figure out what the best way to go about with that is. Sup, Golden Blue Dude, how much longer do you think your West Virginia to the ACC prediction is proved or broken? That's the only thing that I don't know. The timing is so unpredictable. If I knew the exact timing, trust me, I'd be giving it away. But I have no idea. What I will say, though, is every time something's come out and people have said, well, Golden Blue Dude, that actually proves that West Virginia isn't going to the ACC. Like, you know, no announcement. Big 12 finally expanding. News coming out that the remaining core 8 members are going to stick it out. I make sure to check with them because I'm like you guys. I see that news and information. I'm like, it doesn't look like West Virginia's going. So every time something like that happens, I give my sources a call. They're like, don't worry about it. It's still happening. And if anything changes, we'll let you know. So that's what I'm going by. I am 100% confident because these are some pretty good sources. Now, if things change, of course, I will definitely do a video and let y'all know. That's the one promise that I can make y'all. This isn't... I want y'all to understand this. This isn't a stuck my heels in the dirt, I'm not moving, I'm not budging type of thing. That's not it at all. Okay? So, if for whatever reason a day pops up, I check with my sources and they're like, well, something came up, or West Virginia's changed their mind, or the ACC changed their mind, or this and that, whatever the reason may be, it's fallen through, it doesn't look like it's going to happen, I'm definitely going to make a video saying, hey, this is what happened, it's not going to happen. So this isn't, and I know it comes off as, you know, I'm just, you know, I'm putting it out there, so I got to stick with my story. It's not that at all. It's going by what these guys are telling me. I mean, that's the honest truth. And I'm not going to give them the sources away either because they're pretty good. They're in this thing pretty deep, and I don't want to burn that bridge because even if for whatever reason this didn't go through, and they're like, well, this happened, whatever happened, it's not happening, they still might be able to give me some information on some other stuff, so I'm not going to burn that bridge. But I can make you this promise. If something changes and they say, sorry, man, It's actually not going to happen. I'm definitely going to make a video. Okay, me personally for this YouTube channel, it's not about being right, because you're going to be wrong. If you're making a YouTube, I will tell you this: if you're thinking about making a YouTube and it's only because you think you're going to be right all the time, don't make a YouTube channel. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because you're going to be wrong. And people are going to, call you names, make fun of you, say you're unreliable, say you're stupid. It happens. It comes with it. So you better have thick skin, and you better be prepared to be wrong. Because you're going to be wrong. And you already know. I've been wrong several times, like predictions, who I thought I was going to win a game, spread picks. I've been wrong on some stuff. So, if I was a person that I make a YouTube channel based on I think I'm going to be right all the time, I'd be done already. So, it's not that I think I'm right about West Virginia going to the ACC. That's how much I trust these sources. That's what I'm going by. But as far as my personal confidence level that it's happening, it's still at 100, because they're still saying it's going to happen. So as long as they say it's going to happen, it's going to be at 100. If they change, I change. That's how it works. I'm not changing unless they change. Now, the line on the West Virginia Tech game, it's floated a little bit. What I mean is, I think it started out at 3.5. And at one point it got down to 2.5. I think it's back up to 3. So it's right there in the 3 range. Basically a pick'em. Slightly short of a pick'em game. But yeah, West Virginia is favored in this game. Now, the thing is, I do think West Virginia is going to beat Virginia Tech. I think we're the better team, and the big comparison that people like to put out there as far as why they think Virginia Tech's going to win the game. Number one, they beat North Carolina at home. And number two, West Virginia lost to Maryland on the road. Those aren't really comparable. Here's why. Number one, West Virginia was on the road. Virginia Tech was at home. Number two, if West Virginia doesn't have those 4 turnovers, we win the game. West Virginia had 4 turnovers, and Maryland had 0. We gave them 4 extra possessions. Think about that. We gave them 4 extra possessions, and they still only won by 6. And Maryland fans want to come back with, well, we had over 100 yards more offensive yards. Of course you did. You had 4 extra possessions. That's actually not a big gap to have 4 extra possessions. You should have like 200 or 300 extra yards. And you should have beat the brakes off of West Virginia, especially since you had 0 turnovers. Now, if it would have been West Virginia 4 turnovers and Maryland 3 turnovers, that would have been more comparable. But it's not. And I did not see West Virginia having 4 turnovers and Maryland not having any. I just didn't see that coming. Going back to Virginia Tech, yes, they beat North Carolina, and their defense looked good. But they only scored 17 points. And if you go back and watch that Virginia Tech North Carolina game, North Carolina did the same thing as West Virginia. Not as many turnovers, but they kept shooting themselves in the foot. Sam Howell was just off. He was overthrowing, wasn't reading the routes right. The receivers weren't in the right spots. So you kind of have to throw that first game out as a wash. Now, Virginia Tech's number 15. Oh my gosh, Virginia Tech's number 15. You talk about a poll overreaction. That is a big time poll overreaction. But I get it. I understand why they did that. Virginia Tech beat a top 10 team in North Carolina, and they jumped Virginia Tech all the way to number 19, and of course they didn't lose, so now they're up to number 15. So I understand the thought process of Virginia Tech being, but sit down and think about that. Virginia Tech number 15 in the nation. I just don't see it, guys. There's nothing there that's telling me that Virginia Tech is a top 15 team, other than they beat number 10 North Carolina. How good is North Carolina though? They haven't looked all that good. So we'll find out as the season progresses. I have confidence that West Virginia is going to win this game. It's a home game. It's beyond sold out. They're predicting 65,000 plus people. The stadium only holds 60,000. 60,000. And they're predicting 65,000 people in the stadium. So, yeah, it's going to be overly packed. Beyond standing room only. The only other game that I can think of that had more people in as far as Mountaineer Field goes would be speaking of which, Hurricane TTY 93 whenever West Virginia beat Miami. I believe it was what was it, 17-14, or was it 14-10? It might have been 14-10, something like that. So the last time we had a crowd that's projected to be as large as it's going to be Saturday is in 93. That's the year that West Virginia went undefeated. We beat Miami. I think it was 14-10, and we had a shot of winning the share. 17-14. Okay, I was close. We had a shot to share the national championship if we would have beaten Florida that year. And a lot of people think that West Virginia got screwed and Florida State got in, and it should have been West Virginia in the national championship. But it really doesn't matter because we got blown out by Florida. It was like 41-7 or something. We scored the first touchdown and then 41 unanswered points. Real quick, if y'all would please hit the like button there at the top. All it does is it hits the algorithm for YouTube, gets this thing suggested more, allows more people to come in, and we have a bigger audience and bigger conversation, and it's just more fun altogether. Plus, it's fast and it's free. So hit the like button, and it just helps the live show take off even further, and I would appreciate that. Let's see who we got in the chat. Very active chat so far, actually, by the way. Bubbles McKenzie. Awesome to see you, bud. Sam Scruggs. I'm not familiar with that name. Have you been in the live show before, or are you a new person? Let me know. SEC Dog, Joey Foster. Denver Snyder, a Patreon member. Yes, I recognize that name. Chris, Jeff Grime, also a member. John Kelly. John, I heard that you're in Morgantown. I have tickets to... I have 2 extra tickets to the Virginia Tech game. If you don't have tickets and you want to go, hit me up, man. Nick D TV, Hurricane T2Y, my boy. Hey, when are we going to start doing the Sunday thing again, man? I thought we had fun on Sunday. I know we've both been busy, but hit me up, man. I'd love to do another Sunday show with you. Fallen Hero. Let's see. Talk is Pitt is in the house, and that's one thing that West Virginia fans and Pitt fans agree on. We both hate Virginia Tech. On the flip side, the one thing that West Virginia fans and Virginia Tech fans is we both hate Pitt, and then, of course, the circle is complete with Virginia Tech fans and Pitt fans agree they hate West Virginia. So, yeah, it's Ray Fickle's house, also another Patreon member. Let's see, I'm not sure if I mentioned Go Bucks, but if I haven't, there you go. The Mountaineer Effect. Totally not depressed in the house. College football with Jonathan Lewis. Did I miss anybody? By the way, guys, here soon, I will be getting new internet. Well, I say new internet, but basically I don't have any internet right now. So this setup that you're seeing right now where I'm having to scroll down on my phone is going to be going away soon. It'll be more professional. I think I'm good. Puduk and Corey Brunson. 2 names that I didn't mention before. I think I got everybody. Yvette Stowers. Forgot you. Alright, so basically I'm getting internet, so I'll actually be able to work my laptop, and I'll be able to put up graphics, intro, music, all that great stuff. Very excited. I did have internet, but it was basically useless. And Logan Glacier just popped in, or Glacier. Logan Glacier. Thanks for stopping by, man. So yeah, the live show is going to be better. I've been tempted to try the laptop again, but every time that I've tried it, we've glitched and buffering and all that stuff, so I'm just trying to stay away from that. So, yeah. How do I think the Georgia defense is? One of the best in the nation, actually. It's your offense that... I'm not sure. I'm not saying Georgia's offense is bad. I'm just not sure at the moment. Once all those injured players come back on offense, probably going to be pretty good. But Georgia is definitely going to be a pretty good team. But this game on Saturday, super, super excited. So I'm going to leave here. See, I live in the upstate of South Carolina, so I'm going to leave here Friday evening. I'll be in Charleston probably around midnight, and then we'll leave probably somewhere in the range of 6:30 in the morning, and we'll get at Mountaineer Field around, I'd like to be there by 10, a good 2 hours before the game, but hopefully we can get there by 9. That would be really nice, but traffic on game days is unpredictable. So we're going to be there early as we can be there, and tailgate and meet some people and try to get a live show going. I think that's going to be pretty good. Promote the YouTube channel. This is an amazing opportunity to promote this YouTube channel. And so, hold on. Let me get it real quick, guys. So I had this thing made about a year ago now. I've had this thing about a year. Crap. So we're going to have a tent, and I'm going to have this banner up. The Gold and Blue Dude banner. And the plan is, I don't know if it would be big enough to see on TV, but we're going to give it a shot because the cool thing is we will be on the TV side of the stadium. So we have a plan on how to get that thing in there. If it's not allowed, it might be allowed. I don't know, but if it's not allowed, we have a plan to get it in there and try to get it on TV. And if y'all are watching TV, y'all let me know if you see it or not. I think that would be pretty cool as well. I've been thinking about the final score prediction. It is very tricky. I think both of these teams are going to have a decent defense. I think both offenses are not great, so I expect a lower scoring game. But I'm going to go 31-21 West Virginia. Yeah, 31-21. I don't think we commit the mistakes that we committed against Maryland. Our offense looked much better last week. Granted, we played LIU, which is a D3 team, 66-0. It was basically a scrimmage. But I saw some things in there that I really liked, and I'm really hoping that Neil Brown, even if he doesn't start Garrett Green, he needs to put him in there just to keep Virginia Tech's defense off balance, because Garrett Green is a real threat on his legs. He kind of reminds me of Pat White, but I think he has a little bit better of an arm than Pat White. So I'm really hoping that Neil Brown starts trusting Garrett Green a little bit more, because I really, really liked what I saw. Now, in the postgame, I heard Neil Brown say, Garrett Green, even though when he was successful in a couple of plays, he didn't run the play exactly the way Neil Brown wanted. And that's one thing Neil Brown likes. He likes the play to be run the way it's supposed to be run. Thing is, defenses are unpredictable sometimes and plays break down, and you have to make plays with your legs. That's what I like about Garrett Green. Jarrett Daggy, when the pocket starts collapsing, he actually steps into the pressure. If you watch the Maryland game, the pocket would be collapsing around him, and he would step into the defender that was coming in instead of stepping up or getting away from it. Garrett Green, no fear of a defensive line. I think that's the biggest problem for Jarrett Daggy, is he fears defensive linemen. He has a good arm, okay at decision making, not especially strong arm though. We haven't seen him throw the deep ball very much, so we need somebody that can stretch the field, and Jarrett Daggy has not proven that he can stretch the field. That's my biggest concern about our offense and our offensive line. Our running game really needs to get going, and that offensive line needs to be much better. We have a lot of talent on the offensive line, but very, very young as well. Very, very young. Just so y'all know, you can call in now. So if you already have the number, you can call in whenever. And if you don't have the number and you want to call in, all you have to do I think Joey's in the house, so he can post the email. All you have to do is email to the address that Joey's going to post, and in that email, send who you are and what number you're calling from. Once you send that email telling Joey who you are and what number you're calling from, then he will send an email back to you and give you the number to the show. So that's how you get the number, because whenever we gave the number on the actual show, trolls. I mean, call after call after call. Troll. I'm sure they'll figure out how to crack the code, whatever. But this is our best defense against that for now. So if you have the number to the show, feel free to call in anytime. I see you in the house, Talk is Pit, man. So I'm actually expecting you to call in. I will be disappointed if you don't call in. And anybody else that wants to call in, you can call in as well. So, yeah, phone line is open. And I say phone line because I only have one phone. That's another thing I need to invest in, and that's the soundboard. And we'll get there. The thing is, over the summer, this channel blew up way faster than what I thought it was going to. So I wasn't financially prepared to invest in upgrading the facilities to match the growth. So we'll get there. We're a little behind as far as technology and the equipment that we need, but we'll get there. And if you're not aware, we also have a score prediction contest every single week. Here's how it works. You go to my Patreon page, and you can either join through the Patreon page or the YouTube channel. We have a $4.99, a $9.99, and a $19.99. Every single week, one person wins $20, guaranteed. Somebody wins $20 every stinking week. And we're doing it throughout the whole college football season. So if you join the $4.99, you get one guest per week. And there's actually two games because of a tiebreaker. And this week we're doing Alabama at Florida. That's the regular game. And then for the tiebreaker, we have Auburn at Penn State. Okay? So you join Patreon or YouTube, $4.99. You join that one, you get one guest prediction every week. You join the $9.99, you get two guest predictions every week. And then if you join the $19.99, you get four predictions every single week. And you can win as many times as you want. So if for whatever reason you were the luckiest man on earth and you were the closest to the score prediction every single week, you would win $20 every single week. And at the end of the season, whoever wins the most weeks as far as winning the week closest to the score, you're going to get a plaque from me, Golden Blue Dude, declaring you the champion of the first annual college football score prediction contest. So there is an end of the season reward, but as far as the cash prize goes, every single week, and guaranteed winner. So we'll see who the champion at the end of the year is going to be. I'm pretty excited. We already have, in the first week we had Gary D. Anderson and Jim Hamrick. They tied. So instead of giving them 10 and 10 out of 20, I did 15 and 15. And that's when I decided to come up with the tiebreaker because we want one winner. And then this past week, the first time we ran the tiebreaker, Yvette won. So, so far, Jim... Did I say Gary again? Man, I can't remember his name sometimes. Charles. I got you, Charles. Charles Anderson, Jim Hamrick, and Yvette Foster have won the score prediction contest. But we got a long way to go and a lot of money to be won. And we're really close, guys. We are super, super close to being able to bump that price up to $50 a week. We just need a few more Patreons to join my channel, and we'll bump it up to 50. And the reason that is so I can afford the prize money, basically. I don't want to be losing money giving away the prize money. So there you go. A few more Patreons, and we'll start to give out $50 a week. So it'll be worth even more. So if you're a Patreon and you know somebody that might be interested in joining them, get them to join and say, hey, prize money will go up to $50 if we can get some people to join. Chase the Great. Yes, you can call. If you have the number, you can call anytime. Talk is Pit. Dude, Talk is Pit, you already have the number. You're good. It doesn't matter if you change numbers. If you have the number, that means we know you. So, if you have my number, if we've given you the number to the show, you can call. If you want the number, you email Joey. He'll put the email in the chat. Who you are, what number you're calling from, and he'll send you the number back to call. That's how you do it. Jeff says he don't have the number. Joey, put that email back up so Jeff can email you, and you can email him the number back. As far as how to join the score prediction contest, all you do is go to my Patreon page, or just go to my regular YouTube channel, and you'll see the join button. There's a join button, not the subscribe button. You're already subscribed. You hit the join button, and then you can select either the $4.99, the $9.99, or the $19.99. How many ever guesses? How many ever guesses you want? That's what you do. You got to email Joey though to get the number though. Talkus Pit, are you saying that you lost the number because of the new number? I'm confused because if you already have the number, then you can call in. I'll explain it one more time. Joey will put up the email, okay? What you do, you email that email address, who you are, and the number you're calling by. You're calling from. Once you do that, Joey will send you the number to the show. So basically all you have to do is email Joey, who you are, the number you're calling from, and then he'll email you back. Yeah, 867-5309. You know what? I tried to get that number actually. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad I didn't though, because I didn't realize how vicious trolls are. That would have been crazy. But yeah, I love that song. 867-5309. If y'all are too young to know what we're talking about, y'all need to Google that. That's a great song, and that's what that number means. It's a reference to a song. But yeah, if you have the number to the show, you're allowed to call in right now. Why is nobody calling? I don't understand. Why y'all? Usually y'all have called in by now. But I'll still wait. I'm patient. Y'all know me. I am full of hot air. I can talk all stinking night long. I got a text from my brother real quick, so y'all give me a sec. He was updating me on some equipment, so that's gonna be pretty cool. Here we go. I saw the number related to Mexico. I know who you are. What's up, bud?
So you know who it is when you see 555?
Yeah. You know what? Now that you called in, everybody's wanting to call in. Whoever's calling in right now, somebody's on the line, call back whenever they're done, okay? Sorry. And that was a big pop. Sorry. Yeah. You're good. Joey, take the number down. Take the number down, Joey. What are you doing?
Uh-oh.
Go ahead, bud.
Hey, what do you think of the Penn State-Auburn game this weekend?
I think that's going to be a great game.
I think that'll be the best game of the weekend, actually.
I do, but I think in the second half, Penn State will start to pull away. I think Penn State's offense is going to be better than Auburn's offense. I think the defenses will be basically the same, on par with each other, but I think it'll come down to Penn State's offense. It really surprised me against Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin has a great defense. It's at Penn State, total whiteout. So it's going to be a good game, but I expect Penn State to come out on top with a double-digit win.
Yeah, I think Penn State definitely has a top 5 defense. I mean, the way you don't shut Wisconsin out three times inside the red zone, with that running game that they've always had in the line.
Yeah, I agree. And I got to give Auburn their props. They have a good defensive line and a decent secondary, so they're no slouch.
Well, the thing with Auburn is they've got recruits.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've got the talent. The talent is there. They just needed a coach who could take the talent and then develop it. They wasn't developing quarterback.
Well, that was the biggest problem with Gus Malzahn is he could not develop a quarterback.
No. I mean, he could do the X's and O's, but he couldn't develop anybody.
And that's the thing. Once SEC defenses figured out how to defend against his offense, he was pretty much screwed.
Yeah, he couldn't innovate his offense. He just had the same offense year in and year out.
Yeah, and it did work for a while. People were confused and perplexed by it, but once they figured it out, it was all over.
And like Sark, I hear a lot of talk about Sark, you know. I don't think he has his linemen at Texas yet that he needs. He's going to develop a quarterback. I don't think that he's a lot better than Tom Herman. I mean, I think Tom Herman was doing a great job there.
Honestly, I thought Tom Herman is a better coach than him. I thought that was a bad hire by Texas. I know they wanted him to be more consistent, and he didn't have like a super, crap ton of success. And he had that letdown year. But last year, you could see Texas turning back around. And I think they could have had a 10-win season with him this year. Under Sark, they just look like a lack of leadership or something going on. I don't know. Because, like, everybody knows they have the athletes and the talent. It's leadership. They lack leadership.
Right. And I don't know that I fully trust Sark. I mean, I understand that, you know, he was under Saban's rehab. Everybody talks about Saban's rehab, but it's really hard to change who you are just because you went to rehab. You know,
yeah.
Saban's rehab for a couple of years.
Yeah, and I would have liked Texas to bring in Sark as a coordinator. I don't like him as a head coach.
Oh, I agree. I was kind of happy to see Alabama get rid of Sark because there was a lot of talk of, well, Saban's going to retire in a couple of years. We're going to promote Sark.
That would have been bad. That would have been bad.
That's the problem Alabama had when Bear Bryant retired.
Yeah.
We kept trying to get his coordinators and that, and until Gene Stallings come along, it was a mistake, you know. And I would keep Sark any day. I would bring him back to Alabama any time for offensive coordinator. That's it.
You know, whenever I made the video of who USC could be looking at as far as the coaching candidate, one of the names I brought up was Bill O'Brien. And so I promote my videos in a lot of Facebook groups, seeing how they'll react to their coach being mentioned. And everybody knows that Bill O'Brien is a coordinator at Alabama, so I posted it in Alabama Facebook groups. They yawned, they don't care, and I get it. It's because Alabama, that's all they do. They're used to coaches leaving, bringing in other coaches, training them, and then those coaches leaving. It's like a cycle, so they already know it's coming.
Well, and I got into it on another show earlier with an Ohio State fan.
Yeah.
So, well, you don't understand. Ohio State has a freshman quarterback, and they lost 2 assistant coaches.
Yeah.
And I'm like, boo-hoo.
Right.
Alabama loses, 10 to 15 players a year, and we lose 7 or 8 coaches a year. I mean, it's just part of the game.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'll admit it. I had Alabama taking a step back because y'all lost so many. It's not like you lost one coach and just a little bit of talent. Alabama lost pretty much their entire offensive production from last year and half the coaching staff. So I was like, if there's a year that Alabama's going to take a slight step back and possibly miss the playoffs, it's going to be this year. Doesn't look like Alabama's missing a beat so far.
The only problem with Alabama right now, and I think you might see it a little bit more this weekend, we got a couple people hurt on the line. Our line is playing out of position. We got, people playing right tackle when they're actually a guard, stuff like that. So, I mean, our line is not the caliber that it was last year.
Right.
But our receivers, believe it or not, I know Devontae Smith and Waddle and Henry Ruggs and all of them were awesome, but our receivers this year are just as fast and almost as good.
Yeah. It's the Gmail email address. That's what y'all send that to, the Gmail email address that you see. Sorry, but people are asking how to email. But yeah, I agree, but I really thought the combination of losing, what was it, like 75-80% of your offensive production combined with losing about 40 to 45% of your coaching staff, I was like, yeah, if Alabama is going to take a step back and I have to pick a year, this is the year. It looks like I'm wrong, man. And I'll admit it. It looks like I'm wrong.
Well, I think the one thing that's going to help Alabama this year is our defense is back. Our defense is really dominant again.
Yeah.
So our offense can sputter a little bit more than they did last year and the year before. The last 2 years, Alabama had to score 45 points to beat you.
Yeah, yeah.
We just gave up way too many points.
And that's a reason why I have Florida taking a big step back, because their defense was trash last year. It's going to be trash this year. And they lost most of their offense. And so I'm trying to prepare Florida fans. I think they could slide all the way back to 4th place, depending on Missouri. I have Kentucky finishing 2nd in the SEC East, and Florida either finishing 3rd or 4th. It depends on that Missouri game. And Florida has to go on the road both to Kentucky and Missouri. That's why I put them in 4th. I think they can lose both those games.
But see, Florida fans, a lot of them aren't realistic. They didn't remember what happened in the bowl game last year.
And that's essentially
They
the team that we're
lost
going to
all
see
those-
this year. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the team you have this year. You know, and unfortunately, you know, they believe that they should be number 1 or number 2 every year in the SEC East,
Yeah.
and they're not. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, you can't lose that much talent and not bring in a new class.
Right. Exactly. I
And I
agree with
love
that.
Dan Mullen to death, but I don't think he's a great coach either.
No, I
mean, I think he can do quarterback awesome. I mean, he makes the quarterback.
I think he's an 8-4, 9-3 coach. The extension that they gave him was ridiculous. That's flushing money. It's turned into toilet paper already. Last year already proved that. So if Florida extended him expecting 8-4, 9-3 seasons, well done. Good extension. But that's not what they were thinking when they made that big of an offer. So yeah, that was not a good move by Florida. You're stuck with an 8-4, 9-3 coach. And that's, like we've said, he's not a bad coach. He's just not elite.
Well, and I think that's the same problem that Texas A&M has. And my brother
Oh
is
my
one
gosh,
of the biggest
Jimbo
Aggie
Fitz.
fans there are. But you pissed away a lot of money on him.
They have made him the 2nd highest paid coach with no national championships at Texas A&M. You cannot give a coach a raise based on something he's done at another school. I know he won a national championship with Jameis Winston at Florida State. But he's done. I'm not going to say he's done nothing at Texas A&M. He's had a lot of success, but he hasn't won a national championship. They haven't even gone to the playoffs. Why would you make him the 2nd highest paid coach? That one baffles me. At least Ed Orgeron, who used to be the 2nd highest paid coach, had a national championship under his belt at LSU. But LSU is
And
also
let's be
regretting
honest.
that as well.
Jimbo Fisher ain't going to beat Saban. I mean, look at last year. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not close with Jimbo.
Yeah.
And this year, I know they're going to use the excuse their quarterback got hurt. And that's a big excuse. I mean, Alabama felt that when Tua went down and we had Mac Jones and we lost in 2019.
Yep.
You know? So, I mean, I understand that, but I just think they pay way too much money for Jimbo.
Yeah, yeah, and I agree with that 100%. Whenever that came out, and then the numbers were revealed, 2nd highest paid coach in college football, right behind Nick Saban, I'm like, somebody needs to sit down, look at how many national championships Nick Saban has won, look at how many national championships Dabo Swinney has won, who Jimbo Fisher is surpassing as far as being paid. It's ridiculous. The numbers don't, and I'm not saying they shouldn't have extended him and given him a pay raise. I do think that Jimbo has earned an extension and a pay raise, but not the 2nd highest paid coach in college football. That's too much, guys. That's too much.
No, and then I think you also have to look at Lincoln Riley should be the 3rd highest paid coach.
Oh, my
He's not
gosh.
winning national championships.
Yeah.
And he's running rampant on the Big 12.
Yeah.
And then maybe a Ron Day who's, you know, winning Big 10 championships.
Yeah. Absolutely right, man.
Jimbo's not even really the top, isn't even the 2nd best coach, I don't think, in the SEC.
No, I would rank, as far as overall, maybe the 3rd, maybe. I would put Saban, then Kirby, and I have to think real hard. I'm not putting Ed Orgeron. I know he's won a national championship, but that was lightning in a bottle year, and we've seen what happened since. Maybe the third best coach in the SEC, but as far as the money that he's getting, it doesn't equal out. And Texas A&M fans are saying, well, it's an investment. It's an investment. When you raise somebody that much and you extend them for that long, that's a pretty big investment. And that tells me that y'all are expecting to win a national championship under Jimbo Fisher. With that raise and that extension, that tells me you are expecting to win a national championship under Jimbo Fisher. So my question to Texas A&M fans, if it turns out that you do not win a national championship under Jimbo Fisher, then what will you be saying about this raise and extension? That would be my question.
And I think a lot of these schools, I think maybe Texas A&M gave him that raise because they're worried, what if Saban does retire in a year or two? Who does Alabama take?
Yeah, I understand that. I do.
But again, you're paying these coaches too much money to be the second or third or fourth best team in the SEC.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm going to get off here, man. I got some people calling in. But on Saturday, I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing a live show on Saturday. If I don't do one on Saturday, I'll be doing one on Sunday because I know I'll be traveling back from the game on Saturday. I don't know if I'll be back in time. So call back either Saturday or Sunday, depending on when I go live.
All right, man. Have a great night.
You too. Good call, bud.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, and I pretty much agreed. And I'm not a yes man. I don't just agree with everybody. Yes, you're right, blah, 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 blah. But I pretty much agreed with everything you said because that's exactly what I'm thinking. I saw people that tried to call in while he was on the phone. I only have one phone line, so call back if it's busy. Like right now, I have a guy. I think this is Talk Is Pit. What's going on? You're on with Golden Blue Dude.
This is Talk Is Pit.
Sorry. Jeff Webster barely missed it by like 2 seconds. Sorry, bud. If you call back after Talk Is Pit, I see your name pop up. I will put you on. Trust me, I will put you on before anybody. And then another caller. I really need to get a soundboard, man, because this is starting to get big. What's up, bud?
Well, not too much. Hey, I was actually just about to say the same thing. Like, now you got, I don't know, 10 people waiting on hold sometimes, and you're not always probably able to actually get to all of them.
Yeah. So, and that's what I try to explain to my callers now, because I'm having to limit calls to like 10 to 12 minutes, just so more people can get in. And you remember, whenever I first started the live show, I would let people go on for 30 minutes. So,
yes.
Now I got to shorten them up because I got a lot of people calling.
Oh, definitely. But, so obviously I called in to do 2 things. One, give credit where it's due. Congratulations in your win last weekend.
Yeah. Scrimmage game.
I watched half that game. I'm sitting there laughing. I was laughing the whole entire time, and I had to look up. They're really a Division III team.
Yeah, I mean, their stadium holds what, 5,000 people?
Yeah, and I'm sitting there thinking, oh, wait a minute. That's even worse than us scheduling New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And they're a Division I team.
Yeah. Jeff, I'll have you on next. As soon as Talk Is Pit, just call in and I'll have you first. I mean, I did like seeing Winston Wright Jr. take it to the house on the first play. I mean, that was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, speaking of first plays, that didn't go so well for us against Tennessee.
You still got the win, though.
We still got the win, but whenever they blocked the punt, I thought it was going into the end zone, and I'm so glad it didn't.
Yeah.
And I knew they were going to score after that, and I'm like, okay, this is going exactly how I thought it would go. We would screw up in the first 1 or 2 quarters.
There's definitely some nerves going on. You could see it.
I was biting my nails the whole time, and I was at work, so I had to have my headphones in, and I was listening to the game. But I'm paying attention as it's going on, and I'm like, okay, we may actually lose this game. And then what did Joe Milton do? He overthrew everybody.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Our secondary is horrible. I mean, we lost for 2 safeties and 2 DBs last year to the draft.
Yeah.
So our secondary is horrible. Tennessee honestly should have won that game probably by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we did because we
A win is a win.
needed this. Yeah, a win is a win, and we probably needed it more than they did.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, I would say as far as getting to 10 wins, yeah, but as far as Tennessee getting to a bowl, they're not getting to a bowl now.
Oh, no, they're definitely not. Especially since they canceled one of the bowl games.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
So
that's bad.
Somebody's getting screwed.
Yeah. Probably going to be Tennessee. Well, I don't think Tennessee would make it anyways. I think they're 5-7 team at best.
But yeah, we need. Here's the reason why I think we needed that win more than they did, because we are trying to figure out who we are defensive wise, and we needed to play a team that was high tempo. And that's exactly what Tennessee is doing, because we had a very hard time covering their high tempo offense, and it's not like we've never seen it before.
Yeah, that's true. I got you. Yeah, I agree. I got a question for you real quick. So,
what's up?
With as bad as Miami has looked and North Carolina not looking great, you could beat both of them at home. Y'all could beat North Carolina and Miami at home. Definitely Miami. I think if y'all don't screw the pooch and lose a game that you're not supposed to lose, you can definitely beat Miami and have 10 wins. Possibly beat North Carolina, go 11-1 and play Clemson in a rematch in the ACC championship. What about that?
See, that scenario keeps running through my head, but then there's one thing that keeps popping up into my head every time I think about that. Virginia Tech.
Oh, yeah. That's a road game, ain't it?
Yeah, it is. Now, I thought both the Virginia games were road games, but I'm so glad they're not.
Yeah, Virginia's going to be tough, too.
Yeah, and they're going to be tough, but because it's home field, I have us winning that game.
Well, I forgot about that Virginia Tech game. Yeah, that's a good point.
As far as that happening, I mean, our secondary would have to clamp down and tackle.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Our secondary can't tackle. Our run defense is still great.
Oh, yeah.
We got after Joe Milton and Hendon Hooker 5 times.
Right.
So it's not like we don't have that same run defense. The offense wasn't the problem for once.
Yeah.
That wasn't the problem. Kenny Pickett did great against Tennessee. Only had like 10 incompletions, but most of those were because Tennessee actually has great secondary. They really do. I can't sit up there and say they didn't. Like, we ran all over them, because we didn't. But we did great. We needed that win, and got Western Michigan next, who somehow we're only favored by 15.
Yeah, after Michigan blasted them, y'all should be favored by 3 touchdowns easy.
That's what I'm saying. We have to. But I'll let you go so you can get Jeff on.
Well, one more thing real quick.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned the Virginia Tech road game. How do you feel about having to defend Bachmeier? Is he concerning, or are you not worried about him?
If he runs up the middle, yes, because that's where the weakness is.
Okay.
But I think we're going to learn our lesson, because Joe Milton and Hendon Hooker was able to do that. They were able to run up the middle on our defense.
Yeah.
I haven't actually paid attention too much to Virginia Tech, other than loving the fact that they beat North Carolina.
Right.
But I think we contain him, we win.
Okay. That's fair.
But I'll let you go so you can get Jeff on. It was nice talking to you.
You as well, man. I wanted to give you your full 10 minutes, so I asked that last question. How about that?
All right, cool, man. Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good one. Jeff, I promised it to you next, so call in, man. I got other people wanting to call in. go ahead and call in, and we'll move on to the next callers, and so on and so forth. But I know you've been trying to call in, so here's your chance, man. Call in, man. Waiting on you, Jeff. Very active chat tonight, actually. We got Penn State fans in here. Thought I saw an Ohio State. I know I have an Ohio State fan in here. Also, Pitt. A lot of West Virginia fans. Alabama fan. I think we have a Georgia fan in here. Tiger Baskin's in the house. If I'm hanging up on you, I apologize. Jeff was trying to call in, and now that the line is open, he's not calling in. So I don't know what's going on. We're waiting on you, Jeff. You're up. The spotlight is on you. Here we go. Here we go. There you go. What's going on, bud?
Hey, dude.
What's up?
Hey, let me say this in defense of
You cut out for a second. You cut out for a second.
I said, let me say this in defense of Texas A&M.
Okay.
They have a great band.
Oh yeah, they do.
I tell you, and I don't mean that flippantly.
Right.
When they were in the Big 12, and they would come up to Ames, that's the only time in 30 years Texas A&M is the only team that I would see the Iowa State fans stay in their seats at halftime to watch the visiting band play.
Okay.
Usually the visiting band plays, everybody goes, that's when you go to the pisser, that's when you go get a hot dog or whatever, you know.
Right.
But they stayed to watch the A&M band.
And what do they do that makes people stay and watch them? I haven't really watched them.
Well, the music is good. You know, they sound great.
Right.
And just the way they march and they have like a military style march and a cadence that they perform, and their movements are really good.
That makes sense.
You know, there's some great. If anybody's interested in that kind of thing, you can find the A&M marching band on YouTube, and of course, Ohio State is incredible. They're the best.
Oh man, yeah.
The
I like
three
watching
that
the
I've
dotting
seen-
of the I. I think everybody likes that.
Yeah. I've never seen the Ohio State band in person,
Neither have I.
so I would have to say that, and this is strictly my own personal opinion, which opinions can be wrong,
Oh, I know that.
that I have witnessed in person the two best marching bands to me are Texas A&M and the University of Illinois.
Oh,
Now,
that's surprising.
There's some other great ones, but those would be the two best that I've
Yeah.
seen. But hey, I want to just talk a little bit about first of all, talk is Pitt. You got to be overjoyed that Joe Milton was like I said in the comment section, he was as accurate as Elmer Fudd.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
he missed 2 or 3. Which I loved. I loved that he did. But it was just I kept thinking, well, I saw the highlights of that game because, of course, I was at Iowa State. So I didn't see the game, but I saw the highlights, and I kept thinking to myself, man, if I was in the crowd and I was a Tennessee fan, I would have just been beside myself.
Oh yeah, for real. Watching that game, you know what I asked myself? How did this guy end up at Michigan to begin with? He is not a good quarterback. How did he start a game for Michigan? How does a guy like that who cannot throw a forward pass end up as the starting quarterback at Michigan? I didn't realize just how bad he was.
Yeah, that was painful to watch.
Yeah.
Another thing is, I'm of a divided opinion on this Penn State Auburn game.
Yeah.
Not on the outcome. I think Auburn gets exposed, and I think Penn State just puts it on them.
I got Penn
That's
State
right.
by at least 10. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, they went to Wisconsin and won, and Auburn has played.
That's an
60
underrated
points.
win. People are not giving Penn State enough credit for that because they're like, "Whoa, Wisconsin looked bad." Well, it's because Penn State's defense was that good.
Yes. And Auburn has played,
Nobody.
two middle schools? I think 2 middle schools, maybe a junior high or,
Yeah, I think
high
it
school team.
was Akron and Alabama State or something like that.
Yeah, both of them on the plains of hell. So now they've got to go up to Happy Valley. And here's a little something for somebody who don't know, and you probably do because you're familiar with that part of the country. State College, Pennsylvania is in the middle of Pennsylvania nowhere.
Yep.
It's in the middle of the state. There's no major airports nearby. There's no major interstates nearby. It's not easy to get to. Visiting teams that don't go there, that aren't Big Ten teams or teams that play Penn State, if this is your first time there, you got to take a plane and then a bus and then another bus and then you go to your hotel and then you take another bus. It's a pain in the ass. Nobody likes visiting there.
They try to mentally beat you before you even play the game.
Yeah. That said, all that in their favor, I was shocked to find out that Penn State is 8-8 in whiteout games. That's all they are. They're only 8-8. You would think that would be a huge advantage, but apparently it's not.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you would think you pull out all the stops and you have these quote-unquote these special events, you know.
But I will say they have beaten Ohio State in that 5-5 stretch in a whiteout, so
yes,
that helps a little bit, I guess.
Now, let me ask your opinion on this. I think I'm going to agree with all the talking heads that USC, as they say they're going to do, is going to wait all year long and not even talk about who the coach is going to be until after all the season. I mean, the playoffs, everything's done. They can contact coaches.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. It'll be January before they decide.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yes.
Something tells me it's James Franklin.
I love it, dude. I freaking love it. I've been talking about... And here's the thing. And I know that there's different opinions in different fan bases. But last year, whenever I defended James Franklin and I posted it in Penn State fan bases, they blasted me. They're like, this guy's a bum. We looked horrible. Penn State's never started a season 0-5. We need to get rid of him. I was like, what? You've had double-digit win seasons. You're the only other team besides Ohio State that's won the Big Ten in the last, however long years.
Right.
And at Vanderbilt, he went 9-4, 9-4. He finished Vanderbilt with a winning record. I think it was like 24-15. That's amazing. Okay?
Right.
They have one off year. Okay, fast forward to this year, and I make the video where James Franklin is being mentioned as a candidate at USC. Oh, no, he's built something here. He's a great coach. He's going to stay at Penn State. What? That was the biggest flip-flop that I've ever encountered as far as since I've started my YouTube channel. So I thought that was really, really interesting that they flipped on him that quick.
Well, somebody was telling me that he's getting $8 million a year at Penn State. Is that right? Does that sound right to you?
That does not sound right. I thought he was getting more like $5 or $6 million a year. $8 million sounds a lot. I could be wrong, but I think that's wrong.
USC is going to throw 10 to 12 million at a head coach.
At minimum 9, yes.
Yeah, I really do. Yeah, Saban gets something like 11 million.
Yeah.
We all know that's phony. He gets TV money, shoe contract money, all that other stuff that comes,
He probably gets a cut from the gate, man.
Stuff that's on, yeah.
He probably gets a percentage from the gate sales.
Well, when you say your coach makes X, well, he's also making Y and Z. It's just his official contract is for X.
Brian says James Franklin is getting $10 million a year at Penn State.
Okay, well.
Wow.
All I know is USC will throw money, or whoever they go after, the money will not be the reason that somebody they went after would say, no, I don't want to come to LA. It won't be because they're not being offered enough money. USC's got the money.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So that's not going to be.
Oh, and whenever I made my list, one of the arguments, and it wasn't just James Franklin, I threw out some other names out there. The biggest argument whenever I mentioned a particular name would be he's not a California guy. It takes a special guy to be able to deal with the lights and glamour of Los Angeles, be able to recruit, and be able to put up with that lifestyle. So I thought that was an interesting argument as well.
Yeah, I thought, and I don't know if I was just being a follower of the trend, but I thought 2 years ago that USC would open up open up the checking account and say, what does it take, Urban?
Urban
we want
Meyer.
you.
I
Yeah.
agree. Good job, man.
And now it's too late. And I mean, okay, just think now. For the kids who are alive today, the kids that you're recruiting now, they don't remember. They weren't even born when Pete Carroll was doing what he was doing at USC.
Yeah. I
And
remember.
they're not my age, so they don't remember the glory years of the 70s and when USC was a big name.
Yep.
And definitely a blue blood school at the time.
I consider
But that
USC a
doesn't-
blue blood. Yeah, I agree.
That doesn't mean that they can't be. I mean, all you got to do is just keep a few of the kids that are being leaked away at home.
Yeah.
Because look at the talent pool. My God, never mind all the other position players, just look at the quarterbacks that have come from within 100 miles of Los Angeles that are scattered all now, that are scattered around the country. Bryce Young, JT Daniels, we can go on down, on and on and on and on and on. GJ you know who I mean.
Uyunglele.
Yeah, I mean, just keep some of your kids at home. And I mean, USC, and it's Hollywood, man. The stars will be on the sidelines, and I mean, it's all there for the right guy. But I could not agree with you more. It's gotta be a coach that can do the Hollywood thing.
Yes.
You need a glitz and glamour coach.
And that's why I suggested Tom Herman. I know he's gotten blasted, and Texas thought that they were doing a good thing by firing him. I thought that was a bad fire, and then taking on Sark, and they'll see that in the next year or two. And I just think Tom Herman has the attitude and the fortitude to put up with that and be able to have success at USC. I think Franklin would be a good hire. James Franklin would be a good hire. But as far as the attitude and the fortitude, I think Tom Herman would be a good one.
I agree with one of your earlier callers. I didn't catch his name. Said though, as a Bama fan, I was glad that Sark left because I didn't want him to be Saban's replacement. And here's why: because as great as Sark has worked with the offense, look at his track record as a head coach. Totally unproven.
Yeah.
Totally
Well, I got to get off,
unproven.
man. I got another call coming in. You there? Did you cut out?
Yep, you there,
Yeah.
JD?
Yeah, I'm here. I got to get to other calls.
Hey, yeah, we're pushing up against the time. Thanks for taking my call.
No problem, man. Have a good one.
All right.
You on with Golden Blue Dude?
Hey,
What's up, bud?
what's up?
Not much. Just doing a little live show here.
Let's go. Finally.
Yeah. Tonight has been one of the busiest live shows in a while. I'm actually having to hang up on people because they're calling in on other time slots. Have patience, guys. Have patience, guys. As long as there's somebody on the line, you got to wait till the call is done. And I'm limiting it to 10 minutes, so I'm trying to give people 10 minutes. So what do you think about the Virginia Tech-West Virginia game?
I'm sorry to say, you're probably going to hang up in like 5 seconds. West Virginia kind of dog water.
Say it again.
They kind of dog water.
They kind of dog water?
Yep, trash.
Trash.
You
What?
can't lose Maryland like that.
It was because of the four turnovers. That's what I was saying at the beginning of the show. 4 turnovers to Maryland's 0 turnovers, and they only won by 6. So if you turn those 4 turnovers into 0 turnovers, West Virginia wins by 2 touchdowns. So I couldn't foresee those 4 turnovers. And then our return game is going to be a factor. We did it against Maryland. He almost took it to the house against Maryland, Winston Wright Jr. He was like 3 or 4 yards short. And then on the opening kickoff against LIU, scrub team, I get it, took it to the house. He's going to be a factor. West Virginia might play beamer ball on Virginia Tech. And that might be how we beat them, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But one thing that West Virginia, does West Virginia have a ground game?
We do have a ground game, but our offensive line needs work big time. They're very, very young. We have a lot of talent there. Actually, a couple 4-stars on the offensive line, but they're super young. And, of course, we have Letty Brown. We just got to get him going. So we're looking for those young offensive line to gel just a little bit more.
Do y'all have a secondary?
Yeah, we actually have a pretty good secondary, even though we lost Tyke Smith. KG Martin steps back into that role. And we have a pretty good cornerback in Nick Troy Fortune.
Okay, then, I mean, y'all got a shot of that. Okay.
Oh, yeah, and it's at home in Morgantown, a rivalry game.
Well, I'm hoping that Virginia Tech doesn't lose, but that's just me.
Well, I'm going to be in the crowd, so we'll see what happens.
If Virginia Tech doesn't lose, then I have a undefeated team. For me, at least.
Virginia Tech's your team?
They're my second team because Justin Fuente's there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought Memphis was your team.
Yeah, Memphis is.
Okay, I got you. So why are you a Justin Fuente guy?
Because he coached at Memphis and I liked him. He just didn't have the recruiting down.
Yeah, I think Justin Fuente has kind of underperformed at Virginia Tech. I know they have a number 15 ranking beside their name, and they did beat North Carolina, number 10 North Carolina at home. But they still only scored 17 points on North Carolina. And if you watch the game, it was more like North Carolina didn't know what they were doing. I mean, it was Sam Howell was totally lost. That offensive line was all over the place, and they just couldn't score. Now, whether it's Virginia Tech has a really good defense, we'll see on Saturday.
Now, Virginia Tech, alright. I know I'm looking at the 15 right now, but still. It doesn't matter about offense. Defense wins games, offense wins championships. That's the saying, at least. Yeah,
I think the saying has changed in the past 5 years. I mean, even Nick Saban has come to grips that you need a pretty good offense if you're going to be elite. If you look at last year's playoffs, the 4 teams that made the playoffs, only one team had a top 10 defense, and that was Notre Dame, and they got blasted out of the playoffs. The other 3 teams had a top 10 offense. Having said that, you can't have a great offense and have a trash defense. It has to be at least okay. Ask Oklahoma. Every time that they have gotten to the playoffs, they've had a great offense but a trash defense. So you're not going to win a national championship if your defense is completely trash. But you can get away with an average or okay defense if you have an elite offense.
Yep. But I'm just hyped right now. I'm waiting for that Mississippi State game.
Mississippi State game. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Where's that being played?
Memphis.
Okay, so that's going to be a good advantage. And I actually had Memphis winning 10 games. You remember that because I've been saying that since the offseason. And, you know, I had Mississippi State losing to NC State last week. But apparently that home field really helped Mississippi State, and they made NC State look silly. I mean, 24-10. But I think that Memphis will just wear them down and pretty much outscore them. And I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I don't think Memphis has a great defense, so Mike Leach will be able to score points. But I'm going to say, if I had to do a score prediction, I'm going to say Memphis wins this game. I'm going to say something like 42-38, something like that.
Yeah, but I kind of disagree with the defense. You want to know why?
Sure.
I mean, I think you're looking at the Arkansas State game like 50 points, right?
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
No, I didn't. That's not one of the games I watched.
Exactly. It's because we were in prevent defense because of our stupid coach.
Well, you can't do that again.
Exactly. But here's the problem, too. I literally watched the Florida State game, but the team that, was giving the Hail Mary
Jacksonville State?
Arkansas State threw a Hail Mary, but lost.
Are you talking about the Memphis game or the Florida State game?
like both games. I watched Memphis
Okay.
throw a Hail Mary at the same time as Florida State. I mean, Jacksonville State.
I got you.
And Jacksonville State catches it and scores.
That Hail Mary for Jacksonville State, that's about one of the most improbable Hail Marys you'll see. Not only because it's a Hail Mary, but usually for a Hail Mary, you have to get it to the end zone and just hope they come down with the ball. Well, on this one, the quarterback just couldn't, he didn't have the arm. They weren't close enough. So, number one, he had to get it to his receiver, and then he needed his receiver to not only have 2 missed tackles on the defense, or 1 missed tackle, he needed the defense to have 2 missed tackles. And that's exactly what happened. Yes, that was a crazy, crazy Hail Mary.
Did you know that the Florida State quarterback, alright, do you remember Blackman?
Oh, yeah.
He's on Arkansas State, so I was like scared for a second.
Oh, no,
like,
he's not a good quarterback, though. That's why he's at Arkansas State.
Well, yeah, but still, it was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
And mostly, I think it was because of the pressure from his dad, and then you've got fans. Like, that's why I think that he did pretty bad at Florida State, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, but at the same time, you got to realize whenever you're recruited at the high level like that, that means that, you have a high star ranking, you did very, very well in high school, and they're expecting a seamless transition into that school. If you're not a very good quarterback, then those higher brands aren't going to recruit you. So I think he just didn't meet expectations. Maybe he put too much pressure on himself. Like you said, maybe it's his dad. I don't know, but somewhere down the line, he showed that he had some type of skills. Otherwise, Florida State wouldn't have recruited him,
Yeah. And then, well, here's one thing that just shocked me. And I saw the most, ranked team, hype team.
Right.
Ohio State. And I'm just sitting there
let me ask you a question. Who predicted Ohio State to have at least 2 losses before the season started?
You.
That's right. Now, I will admit that I didn't predict the Oregon game as one of those losses because, personally, I was wrong. I thought Oregon was overrated. They looked pretty good. But Oregon, I know they have a top 5 ranking, but you guys really need to lower your expectations just a little bit, okay? You have a long season ahead of you, and Ohio State's defense looks like trash. That's a great win for Oregon. Great win. On the road, Ohio State, never done it before, amazing win. But I'm telling you, Oregon is going to face much better defenses than Ohio State. I'm looking at you, Utah. I think Utah can pull the upset, and I know Utah just lost to BYU, but that was a crazy rivalry game on the road, blah, blah, blah. Utah has a great defense. I think Oregon could still end up with a 10-2 season.
Alright, I know this game will probably never happen until, some crazy crap happens, but I'm thinking if Ole Miss ever played Ohio State would get their butt whooped.
Yeah, it depends on, like you said, when, as far as how far down the road it would happen and where. That would be the two factors that would determine if Ohio State did indeed get their butts whipped.
If it was this year, they get their butt whooped.
I got you. All right, man, I got to move on to another caller, man, but good stuff.
Alright.
Have a good one.
Penn State sucks.
He had to get a Penn State sucks in there, by the way, if y'all didn't hear that. I thought it was pretty good. He tried to get me right off the bat by saying that West Virginia is dog water. I've actually never heard that one before, dog water. That's pretty good. You made it through. You're on with Golden Blue Dude.
Okay, good. Alright. So, I had my first JV games. That's completely unrelated. We got absolutely murdered, but I got some playing.
Hey, experience matters.
Yeah.
So how did that go? What was going through your head?
Just weird being out there.
Yeah, see, I never played football, but I did play basketball. And for people that have never played any type of sport, even in high school, you're not in front of tens of thousands of fans, but you're still out there in front of people.
Yeah.
When you get out there and you realize that you have to do your job, and even though you're on a team, you have an assignment, you have something you have to do, and people are watching you, it's a whole different feeling out there.
Yeah. Like, it was a JV game at, like, 5 p.m. on a Wednesday. There were, like, maybe 200 people there, tops.
Yeah.
But it was still kind of pressure. Because last time I played was, like, way back when.
Yeah, I'm 38 years old. I played high school basketball. I won 1 church league championship and 2 high school championships. And to be honest with you, the church league championship was more nerve-wracking. That was the loudest crowd I've ever played in front of, and there was only, like, I would say maybe 200 or 300 in there. But that was still the loudest crowd I ever played in front of. So that was the most as far as an actual moment or an actual game that I've played in basketball, that would be the one.
Yeah. All right, I'll try to get into football. I just want to go ahead. All right, so I was at the Clemson South Carolina State game.
Oh, that
Saturday.
means you were only like 10 minutes away from me.
Yeah. But thought Clemson did pretty well. Will Shipley is amazing.
Oh, I agree with that actually. Yeah.
But I think DJ, there's room for improvement. There's still room for improvement.
Yeah, his decision making is far. I don't want to say worse because that makes him sound bad. He's a good quarterback, but he needs to get rid of the ball faster. I've noticed that he likes to hold the ball just a little bit too long. And against elite defenses, that's going to hurt you. I mean, we saw against Georgia what happens when you hold the ball a half a second to a full second too long.
Yeah, that happened a couple times.
Yeah.
With us today. We actually nearly had a safety right, I think, second to last drive, and then we fumbled. They scored.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing with Clemson, though, is y'all play in the ACC, and I've looked at your schedule. I really don't see any games where, I'm like, oh, Clemson can lose that. There's that interesting game at NC State. That one could be interesting. But other than that, it should be a relatively easy schedule on the way to the ACC Championship. And probably by then, I don't think you're going to be playing Miami. Miami, they're not looking good at all. I think it's going to come down to North Carolina and Pitt. And y'all also have a road trip to Pitt. That's the game that could be the upset, upset alert. But if y'all beat Pitt then, there's a chance you'd have to play them twice, and we all know it's hard to beat a good team twice. So Pitt could be a double trouble type of situation for Clemson.
Yeah, because Pitt, I know recently it's only been 3 games, but even though the last 2 were kind of blowouts, they always played Clemson tough, and obviously the 2016 game.
Even the year that they beat y'all in Clemson, they didn't even make a bowl that year, I don't think.
Yeah, I was at that game. That was weird.
Yeah, that was a weird game to watch. They developed that shovel pass offense, and for whatever reason, Clemson had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, Watson tried to take everything over. It was so weird.
Hey, but y'all still won the national championship that year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I personally am.
Yeah.
I don't think this Clemson team is as good as that Clemson team.
Oh, no.
But I believe that they kind of took the same mentality after the Georgia game. I'm not 100% sure it'll take them on to beat Alabama, but I still can see them making the playoff.
Yeah, and the weird thing about Clemson this year is I think this is the best defense that Clemson has had since the Watson run offense Clemson teams. And that's what Clemson has been missing since those days. So the weird thing is the problem Clemson has is on offense. It's like that never happens. Usually they have the issues on defense, and they do just enough to win games, get to the playoffs, and, they won a national championship with Lawrence with a okay defense. This year, I think they have an elite defense. We saw that against Georgia. The only touchdown that Georgia scored was on that pick 6. So it's just weird to watch a Clemson team that's having offensive struggles and not defensive struggles.
All right, I also touch on that. This is personally just we were talking about the game, I think, Saturday, like when we were like tailgating.
Yeah.
He was only outside for like 5 minutes because he had to go in really early because, long story, he had to go in really early. But, what was it? my dad thinks Ross would have actually scored if he had got the ball. I don't think he would score. I think he got a first down. Clemson might have scored later on that drive.
Yeah, that's fair.
But going to West Virginia, I think they're going to actually upset Virginia Tech.
Well, the weird thing is it wouldn't be an upset. West Virginia's actually favored by 3.
They're favored? I know that.
See, that tells you that the odds makers know that 15 beside Virginia Tech doesn't matter. Number 1, it's a rivalry game. Number 2, it's in Morgantown. And number 3, they're looking at North Carolina and be like, they might not be as good as what we thought they were, even though they have that number 15 ranking. And technically, Virginia Tech did earn that. They beat a top 10 North Carolina. They upset them. But if you would go by rankings, West Virginia should definitely be at least a touchdown underdog. So I actually have more respect for the odds maker because of that line.
Yeah, I think West Virginia will win by about, that's 30 again. I don't know if I've been ESPN, I don't bet because I'm like 14.
Yeah, that would be eyebrow raising right there.
Yeah. Like, I think the only time I've bet is, I bet $5 on the national championship with, my friends.
Yeah, everybody does that. And pull bets where everybody throws in money on a game and whoever wins gets all the money. I got you, man. I got you. You're good.
Me and my friend did that for something, throwing a bunch. I think we threw in, a hat from somewhere.
Gotcha. So who does Clemson play this week?
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech. And is it on the road?
It's in Clemson.
It's in Clemson. All right. So, what's your final score prediction before I let you go?
I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I don't think it'll be like last year. I think Georgia Tech is probably one of the most underrated team in the ACC. Clemson still wins by 20 points plus, but it's not going to be 70-6 what it was last year or something.
I gotcha.
That game was weird at first because we had struggled on that first drive.
Yeah.
So to it, and by the time we got home, it was already 21 to nothing.
Yeah. Well, before I let you get off here, I'm going to give you my score prediction. Okay. So, number 1, Georgia Tech got beat by Northern Illinois. I know Clemson struggled against Georgia, but Georgia Tech is not even close. I think Clemson doesn't even blink in this game. I think we're looking at maybe a 41-10, 45-10 type of game. Blowout, not ever in question, no doubt.
Yeah, I could see that happening. I just think this is technically a smaller rivalry. Georgia Tech might have something, but not much.
Maybe if it was on the road. But no. All right, man. I'm going to get to other calls. Good call, man.
All right.
Have a good one. Georgia Tech is they're not very good at all. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Clemson actually put in their punter as quarterback towards the end of the game. Now, that's ultimate disrespect right there, guys. I mean, that's crazy. You made it through. You're on with Golden Blue, dude.
Hey, what's up? It's Sports Nerd.
Hey, what's up, man? Did you say sports nerd or sports turd?
The Sports Nerd. Don't you dare say I'm a turd.
I was trying to get you to enunciate a little bit more because it sounded like turd.
My gosh. You're making fun of us Michigan fans already.
I got to get my shots in where I can, man.
Yeah, I know that. Score prediction, man. What was up with that? You predicted a 31-10 win for Washington, right?
Back when I didn't know what I was talking about. Yeah, I did.
I'm just messing with you, man. What's up?
Not much. That one, I can admit, I was way wrong on that. Way wrong. Wait, was my actual score prediction, I know I predicted Washington to win. Did I actually say 31-10?
No, I was just pulling your leg on that one.
Okay.
I remember watching that, and you predicted Washington with a close one, I think, over Michigan.
Yeah.
But
I think I predicted Washington. I think. You know what? Just because you said that, I got to go back and watch that now.
You also said they have the best defense in the whole Pac-12. Well, after 2 weeks, that was shredded, wasn't it?
Yeah, I agree. But it's their offense that's their major flaw. I actually think Washington still has a pretty good defense. It's just they're on the field way too long. Way too long. that offense gives them zero rest whatsoever. I mean, through two games, think about this. Through 2 games, Washington has played Montana and Michigan, and they scored a combined 17 points.
You're not going to win many conference titles with that average.
No, that's horrible. That is a bad offense right there.
Yeah, I remember doing the video the first week and seeing that upset, and I was like, man, Michigan, they could have had a chance of playing a ranked team going into week 2, and that would have been a better win. But I guess either way, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, win's a win, man.
They need to lick their wounds and move on to the next one because conference schedule's still there. So,
and didn't Michigan get ranked now? You guys are ranked, number 25, aren't you?
Yeah, they're 25th. I mean,
that's a ranking, man.
I think I put in your chat earlier about 2 teams I wouldn't overreact to right now. I should add a third team, and Michigan would be one of them. But
yeah,
2 teams, because I mean, I think they only had 44 yards passing against Washington. I mean, McNamara.
What?
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't even realize that. No, I didn't look at that stat at all. Wow.
No, McNamara was 7 of 12 or 7 of 15 for 44 yards, but they did have 352 yards rushing. So I mean,
so
they made up for it.
rushing team now. Nice.
Hey, when you can establish the point of attack in the gut, man, doesn't matter what you can do. Passing the ball doesn't matter.
I mean, as long as you can run, do it. You know.
Well, that's the thing Michigan's been lacking for the last year and a half, I'd say, is a consistent rushing attack. And
but if you think about it, that's more on the offensive line. Y'all have had some good running backs. I mean, Zach Charbonnet, he transferred to UCLA, and look what he's doing. Y'all have some good running backs. It's that offensive line is actually starting to do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, I know, and they can actually open holes. Again, it's against Western Michigan and probably a very overrated Washington team. But hey, as long as they're doing it, it's a start. So
right there you go.
You know, and we could have had Mr. Deep Ball throw out of the stadium Joe Milton at quarterback. But
Oh
thank
my
God we
gosh.
got rid of him, or he left.
Like I said to the previous quarterback, how in the heck did he turn out to be a starting quarterback at Michigan?
Well, John O'Corn was also a starting quarterback for 8 games,
Yeah,
if you do recollect that season.
Michigan, people wonder why Jim Harbaugh hasn't had much success at Michigan. Look at the quarterbacks he's gotten there. It's not good.
In 2017, I'm a stats guy. In 2017, they had 9 touchdown passes to 10 interceptions. They said that was the lowest touchdown passes they had since Bo Schembechler was the coach, and they ran a triple wing, whatever spread kind of offense back in the 70s. So
yeah,
that shows you how bad a quarterback play they've had in the last few years. So
somebody in the comments section mentioned Denard Robinson. If y'all had the running game that y'all had now and had Denard Robinson at your quarterback, that would be a very, very tough offense to defend. He wasn't an elite passer, but definitely better than what y'all have had, and he would give that extra element of being able to extend plays and running the ball on broken plays.
I totally agree. Denard was one of my favorite players, through high school, college kind of era, growing up watching college football, albeit he was on, 2 god-awful Michigan teams. But
now, wasn't he on the cover of the very, I might be mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, the very last NCAA video game football
NCAA
video
14,
game.
yes, he was.
Okay, I got it right. I'm happy with myself now.
And if you earned him on Ultimate Team, he was a cheat code. I mean, he was like 98 speed. I mean, he was unstoppable.
He was the maxed out guy that everybody looks for.
Of course, a scrambling quarterback.
Yeah.
But I feel like if he was in their offense, he would definitely add an extra element that only few people can attain, like Lamar Jackson would. I remember seeing this post a few weeks ago. Somebody said, everybody's talking about how Tim Tebow is the best quarterback. If Lamar Jackson was with Florida, I don't think they would have lost for 3 straight years. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I actually agree with that. I mean, I'm not really knocking Tim Tebow. He was a good quarterback, but the greatest, no. He benefited from an Urban Meyer system as far as making him look like the greatest quarterback. But I would definitely not label him as the greatest quarterback, college quarterback.
I did a video on this. I don't know if you watched it, with the greatest players of the decade. I put Lamar at number 1. He was,
yes,
he still is, generational talent that.
If
I
you
don't
go
think-
back and watch those Louisville games, Louisville had no business beating some of the teams that they beat and having some of those records that they had with Lamar Jackson. He was that team offensively. Without him,
That's what-
they don't get to a bowl.
Well, in that video, people always comment about, oh, why is Joe Burrow or Baker Mayfield or Deshaun Watson not number one? And my simple response is, can you name another offensive player that's in the NFL from that Louisville team? No, you can't.
Right.
Because, maybe
Those
Reggie
other
Bonnafont
quarterbacks
is-
had weapons. And a good
Exactly.
defense. And a good defense.
So, but I don't want to get too off topic with that. But I hear everybody calling about this West Virginia Virginia Tech game. Apparently, you're going to it, correct?
I am going to be there.
I'm skeptical. I think I made about 12 bets this week. I just do certain spread bets, but like maybe $5 a piece. But I'm skeptical of taking West Virginia with that. Although I don't know if I should. I really don't know. I think it's 3.5 right now, but
Yeah.
I'm
It
really
bumped up another half.
contemplating
That's actually a key point. If somebody is a bettor and that bumps up to 3.5, you might actually want to take the points because that's a key number. And the what's it called? The educated guess would be West Virginia by 3. So that half a point is a big deal. If it is 3.5, that's a big deal. I'm telling you.
Well, see, I'm taking Michigan State straight up against Miami, and I think I'm taking one on other underdog. I forget, but
That's not a
I
bad
don't know.
pick.
I can't believe in Virginia Tech or anybody in the ACC right now because I look at the numbers and it's just they're so weak in every aspect. Virginia Tech is the second-ranked ACC team. Oh, third-ranked. Excuse me. They're ranked 31st, but AP poll they're 15th. So.
Right.
In West Virginia, they play one of the hardest schedules the rest of the season, and they're not ranked either. So
Yeah, that's why I'm very, very upset about the Maryland loss. And I've talked about it a million times. I'll say it again, though. 4 turnovers to 0. And we still only lost by 6. People making a big deal that we lost to Maryland. And I get it. We shouldn't have lost to Maryland. West Virginia was the better team. And people saying, Maryland had 100 and some more yards offensively than West Virginia. You had 4 extra possessions. You should have had more than just 100 and some more offensive yards. We shot ourselves in a daggum red zone interception where a field goal would have taken the lead. Give me a freaking break.
Well, people need to chill out with Maryland this year. Yeah, they haven't
Exactly.
played a bowl game in like 7 years. Maryland is definitely going to be 6, 7, possibly 8-win team this year, in my opinion. Even playing in the Big Ten East. So they're not no cupcake either. So you guys just shot yourself
I have
in the
them going
foot.
to a
I
bowl
agree.
for sure. I have them going to a bowl.
So, I had one more thing I needed to talk to about. How am I in time?
You got about 3 minutes.
3 minutes? Oh, I got a decent amount of time then. So, man, who do you think's going to win the primetime game? Penn State, Auburn.
I got Penn State. I think Auburn has a legit defense. I really do. I don't quite trust their offense, and I know they've looked good against cupcake opponents, but this is going into Penn State, a whiteout, and somebody mentioned earlier that Penn State is an even 500 in whiteouts, but Auburn is not like a top 5 Ohio State or a top 5, whoever you want to throw in there in the whiteouts. I think Auburn is a decent ranked team, but Penn State, people are forgetting, went into Madison and shut them down with that defense. And they got a win that I didn't think Penn State was going to win. I had Wisconsin winning that game, and Penn State comes out with a win, and they're on cloud 9. I think Penn State wins this by 10.
I agree. I think Penn State, that win over Wisconsin is people are overlooking that win. Penn State's Wisconsin, even though, they play in the West, they're still going to be the team to beat. Although, Iowa, obviously,
that West is looking great.
What's that?
That West is looking great.
It is. Even with, Northwestern and Illinois and Nebraska kind of being subpar, even Purdue, they play Notre Dame this week. I would not be surprised if Purdue was within 3 points, even if they come away with the upset in that one. So,
Yeah, Notre Dame, oh my gosh. It's going to be a long season, guys. Even if they squeak out 10 wins, That would be a miracle. They have one of the toughest schedules I've seen. We've already talked about it. We both agree Arkansas had the toughest schedule. Notre Dame, I'd say, would at least be a top 10 tough schedule.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, if they're having trouble with Toledo and I forget who they played week 1, and they still got to
Florida
play.
State.
I think
Who got beat by Jacksonville State?
they still got to play Wisconsin 2 weeks. They got to play Cincinnati. They got to play at VT. They got to play at Stanford. Last game of the season. Stanford's not looking too good either. They played Florida State week 1. That's right, overtime.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, if they finish 8-4, that'll be a win for them.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if I think I have anything else to say. I'm going on vacation this weekend too, so my videos are going to be a lot shorter. But I guess
gotta do what you gotta do.
But I'll try to do a video, just a quick analysis. Whatever happens. Seems to be pretty quieter weekend compared to last week. But I just want to leave one thing to say that the 2 teams we shouldn't overreact to this early in the season. One is Arkansas. Yes, they're ranked, I think, 20th. Yes, they're in the SEC. They beat the crap out of Texas, who was 15th, but they still have to play the hardest schedule remaining in the season, and they still have to go through the entire SEC West. So,
but I do think they can get to a bowl now.
What's that?
I do think they can get to a bowl.
They can. I mean, they play A&M, Georgia, Ole Miss, and Auburn 4 weeks in a row, so that'll be a gauntlet for them before they even get to LSU or Alabama.
Yeah.
But the other team I think people need to chill out with is Oregon. Everybody's saying, "Oh, they're the dark horse CFP pick right now." They were weak against Fresno State. They had to come back and win that one, and they beat Ohio State. But Ohio State is obviously a very vulnerable team. They're not in the intimidating, unstoppable juggernaut in the Big Ten as the last 3 years have been. So
yeah, and I tried to tell Ohio State fans, you're in for at least 2 losses. And I had them beating Oregon, so we might be looking at a 9-3, 8-4 season. We'll see. Hey, before you jump off here, people were actually asking who this guy is, so plug yourself real quick.
Sure. I'm the sports nerd. I do videos every week for analysis. I try to do it Saturday night like you do. It's not a live show, but it's just a weekly review. I use stats analytics, and I post it every single week. I just posted a video. I try to do it once a week, but come to look at my channel. I do a bunch of top 10 stuff as well. So if you guys enjoy stats and everything college football, just head over at The Sports Nerd. I'm the green circle.
There you go. And you just hit 1,000 subscribers not too long ago.
I did, man, and still trying to figure out how to get some revenue, but I'll figure it out eventually.
All right, man. Good luck, man.
All right, appreciate it. Have a good one.
Have a good one. The sports nerd. Not the sports turd, the sports nerd. He does have some good stuff, and he has been on the grind and has earned that 1,000 subscriber mark. And guys, that's a big deal. That's when YouTube grants you the rite of passage to be able to start actually monetizing your videos. So that's a big accomplishment. Congratulations. Thank you to all my callers. I hate to get off here. I know there's some other people that want to call in. Sorry about that. But I'll be back live either on Saturday night, Sunday night, depending on how late I get back from the West Virginia Tech game. So y'all don't forget to check that out. I am going to be in Morgantown on Saturday, and I will be doing a live show, and I'll probably be doing a raw reaction show of my own right after the game, whether we win or whether we lose. I don't even like saying that last part, but there is that possibility that West Virginia could lose. So either or, I'll do a live reaction, but don't forget to check out the live show before the game. That's going to be the most exciting part. And if you're a subscriber and you're going to be in Morgantown, look for me. I'm going to try to set up a tent, and I'm going to have my banner. You will know it's me. I will have the golden blue dude banner. And we're actually going to try to sneak it into the stadium because we're going to be on the TV side. So we're going to try to hold it up and see if the TV cameras can get it. That would help us greatly. So y'all try to check out that game. Even if you're not a West Virginia fan, just pop in, pop out, and let me know if you see me or not. That would be awesome. Great show, guys. Great show. This is awesome. We had some good callers, great comments. Appreciate all the commenters. And don't forget, if you want to join my score prediction contest every single week. Guaranteed winner, $20, guaranteed. And this isn't you have to wait till the end of the season to get your money. You get it every single week, okay? In order to do that, all you have to do is go to my YouTube channel, hit that join button, okay? It does cost money. Not going to try to lie to you. If you choose the $4.99 a month, you get one guess per week for a chance at $20, guaranteed. If you hit the $9.99, you get 2 guesses per week. If you hit the $19.99, 4 guesses per week. And you can win as many times as you want. It's not like you win $20 and you're done. No, you can win 20, how many ever times you get the closest, you can win it. So, if you're interested, go check it out. We're close to being able to get $50 per week. We are super close to that. And I want to do it, guys. So, help me out. Join the channel, and so we can give away $50 every single week. That'd be awesome. And at the end of the year, whoever wins the most weeks as far as being the closest to the score, you're going to get a championship plaque from Golden Blue Dude declaring you the champion of the first annual Golden Blue Dude score prediction contest. So, yeah, there is an end of the year prize, but it's a plaque. But every single week, it's cash, which is even better. Y'all have a good night, and I will see you either Saturday night or Sunday night, depending on how long it takes me to get back to South Carolina. All right? Y'all have a good night, and keep your eyes out for tomorrow. Regular videos every single day. 14 straight months. Haven't missed a single day.